The barefoot running style was popularized in 2009 when marathoner and author Christopher McDougall wrote a book about the evolution and health benefits of barefoot running. This natural running approach spawned a new industry segment that quickly took off. Running shoe companies started pumping out new shoes with minimal heels in order to mimic the barefoot running style. Even hiking manufacturers like Merrell and REI jumped in with novel designs to attract runners wanting to adapt to this natural running style. Even new running shoe companies were spawned, like Vibram 5 Fingers, that had separate slots for each toe to promote toe gripping, an essential component of the barefoot running style where runners strike on their midsoles rather than heels. McDougall didn't claim to innovate this new running style. Rather, he went back into history to chart the fascinating evolution of barefoot running. It documents that the Greeks ran barefoot in the very first Olympics. You can see the straight-up barefoot running posture here. And here's a more recent Olympian running barefoot. This is Adebayo Bikili, the famous Ethiopian runner who won the Olympic marathon in Rome in 1960 while running barefoot, and again in Tokyo in 1964 in record times. However, McDougall cites the Tarahumara tribe in northern Mexico as being world ambassadors of barefoot running. This remote Indian tribe lives in the highlands and mountains of Copper Canyon, running hundreds of miles in homemade sandals or barefoot. The Tarahumara call themselves Rahamuri, meaning runners on foot or those who run fast in their native tongue. They've developed a tradition and culture built around long-distance running using the barefoot style, whether young or old. It's not only amateur runners who have adopted the art of barefoot running. Many professional runners since the 60s have run barefoot. The Sri Lankan team here competes primarily barefoot or in minimalist shoes, which help them feel the ground and encourage a low-impact gait. Research shows that up to 79% of runners are injured each year. Over-engineered footwear has altered running mechanics, forcing you to strike with your heels ahead of your body, whereas with barefoot running, you naturally land on your forefoot directly under your body. You can see the progression here. The barefoot runner is upright, striking with the forefoot. The arches of the foot act like a springboard to propel the runner forward, whereas conventional shoes with thick soles and arch supports prevent the arch from functioning as a springboard. Dr. Irene Davis of the University of Delaware is an expert on barefoot running. She states that the angle of impact of a barefoot runner propels that runner forward, exerting less energy, whereas the cushioning of a conventional runner's shoes actually has the reverse effect in protecting that runner. Dr. Davis tested runners in her lab. She discovered that the conventional runner's heel strike exhibited a ground reaction force with a distinct impact that's related to injury, whereas the barefoot runner's forefoot strike showed a far less distinct impact. Most of the Tarahumara wear homemade sandals like these, though many experts see their diets and lifestyle being key contributors to their running prowess. All agree that it's their barefoot running style, being up to 8% more efficient, that explains their superhuman endurance. Dave Thompson, a running expert, states that what's fundamentally wrong with running in shoes is that the conventional striker, on the right, hits the ground with nearly a straight leg, whereas the barefoot striker, on the left, has much more of a bend in the knee and ankle to better absorb the shock. This tribe was born to run, says McDougall. He encountered 5 tribe members lined up in the Leadville 100-mile trail run in 1993. They were wearing sandals they made out of old tires scavenged from a nearby junkyard, and yet they finished first, second, and fifth in the race. Dan Lieberman of Harvard discovered that 70% of the tribe's sandal wearers had mid to forefoot strikes, while 75% of the conventional wearers had heel strikes, with natural strikers having significantly more flexibility in their ankles, knees, and hips. This is Maria Lorena Ramirez, a Tarahumara runner who bested 500 competitors to win the 50-kilometer ultramarathon in Puebla, Mexico. Her image has been shared over 100,000 times on Facebook, and she won the race without running shoes. This runner exhibits the proper barefoot running style. Notice how upright he is, almost like running on air. Yet, this technique must be learned and practiced over time in order to overcome years of bad running habits brought on by overproduced shoes. Why hasn't barefoot running caught on if it provides so many benefits? Well, there are two good answers. Number one, the shoe industry has gone in the opposite direction with maximalist shoes in order to appeal to a wider audience, and most runners transition too quickly, resulting in injury. I've been an active runner for over 40 years, having participated in 8 marathons and numerous shorter races. Over the years, I've dabbled with barefoot running, but it wasn't until my knee injury 2 years ago that I felt compelled to try it again to save my knee joints. Here's my first outing in sandals.